Caitlyn Clark finished up one of the most remarkable years of basketball playing in quite some time.
Caitlyn Clark has just taken a bold move that has everyone holding their breath or shaking their head. She's returning to the craziness of the WNBA for her second season. Yes, the same league that essentially made her debut campaign a nightmare of fouls, ill-advised shots, and blatant disregard. So let's do it once more. She's dragging herself back into a situation where she was treated like the issue and given the finger while being pushed around and accused of racism. As she wrote, I want to express my gratitude to everyone who has helped me realize my childhood ambition. Looking back over the past year of my life, I am so full of gratitude. See ya in the second year. And for what purpose? For a league that has profited from her skill but only caused her bumps and headaches. But that's Caitlyn for you, I suppose. Bold, unrelenting, and seems prepared to face the insanity once more. Hopefully the WNBA will eventually get its act together. For if they make the same mistake twice, they will become their own circus's clowns, in addition to becoming the antagonists in her tale. He basically did it all, drawing attention and becoming an icon for sports enthusiasts, including young ladies like myself, who watched him play basketball. And Caitlyn Clark has declared her intention to give the WNBA another shot. Yes, they ought to be grateful. She's chosen to stay for another season after a rookie campaign that left fans throughout the nation in disbelief with her averages of 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game. And what do you know? It's not what the league deserves. No, it's because she has unresolved business that she is returning. And the WNBA would be praising her on their knees if they had any common sense. Without a doubt, Caitlyn Clark is going above and beyond her age. Clark reestablished Indiana Fever's reputation when the team was essentially dozing off all through the season. This girl made the entire series into a spectacle, drawing an attendance of more than 17,000 per game. She's the reason fans came at all. Thus, the Fever should call their venue Clark's house. Let's discuss what actually happened in the previous season, though. The disregard and outright mistreatment Clark received from a league that ought to have been honoring her. It felt more like a warped episode of Survivor outside than just her playing hoops. Clark had to deal with every dirty tactic in the book, from cheap shots and dubious fouls to referees who behaved more like paid-off doormen than officials. The most detrimental aspect? The league did nothing but watch on. However, she also accomplished it while being highly visible at a very young age. This girl's life is being impacted by fame. I hardly ever saw a mistake or anything I wouldn't be proud to show my daughter. It's really like watch her the entire time, see how she plays, watch how she takes care of business. The girl was shoved and had her eye poked, twirling akin to a rag doll. Where, though, were the whistles? Mia, much like the legitimacy of the WNBA, they seemed to be testing her almost. What do you think? She remained calm. Every so-called star they attempted to put in front of her was simply outclassed by her on the court as she continued to own the court. I'm calling her in and telling her I need answers while everyone else is seeing this angle. That was a classic UFC maneuver, and it happened in the midst of a playoff match. It surprises me that boxing gloves were not distributed in lieu of jerseys. Where had the referees gone? They were most likely enjoying their coffee because they most definitely weren't shielding the best rookie in the league. The WNBA seems to have borrowed a page from the manual entitled How to Ruin Your Best Talent. After all, why protect your future when you can just allow your most promising player to get a finger stabbed in her face during a pivotal match? Excellent tactic. I have no idea. The reason I would want to strike someone in the eye, I can't even begin to understand that. No, I didn't, though. I had no idea that I had really hit her. I believe I followed through on my attempt to make a play with the ball and struck her. It's obviously never the intention. Let's now discuss numbers. Of all the flagrant fouls called in the league, Clark received 177% of them. 177%. How in the world does that occur? It seemed as though they were offering Clark a special deal on fouls. Get one free with every 100 you purchase. In the meantime, the referees are acting as though they are blindfolded, and her opponents are almost lining her up. Clark was producing MVP caliber numbers, but all she received in exchange was the whistle-happy referee team treating her as though she were the issue. Yes, the issue is that she is too skilled and gives the other players in the league an amateurish appearance. Yes, I believe my personality is centered around competition. That is what I have carried out my entire professional life. I believe there are many moments when I could probably channel it a little more effectively, but at the end of the day, that's just basketball. No, nothing will ever change about that. I will always have that. I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. I'm not sure. I'm glad Christie received a tech as well. I mean, I'm not sure. Hold on, things get better. Pushing, kicking, and all the cheap shots in the book. Clark received a tour of the WNBA Welcome Committee in its entirety. She was being pulled around like it was a back alley brawl by other players who were acting as though she owed them money. And how did the league react? Crickets. Not even a slap on the wrist, no suspensions, not even fines. I don't sure what will get Clark a statue outside the arena if her perseverance doesn't. What is the WNBA doing at the moment? Acting as though none of this ever occurred, rather than brushing it off as though she hadn't already survived a season in their chaotic madhouse. She pretended that year one had been a fairy tale. It's a wonder that she's thinking about returning for year two. They would be leaving skid tracks on the WNBA if it were anyone else. But Clark, she is tough. She is returning. And the league needs to start appreciating her for the treasure that she is. This season, the WNBA has seen record-breaking viewership, but sales of merchandise, tickets, and just the league's general expansion. The way the public views Clark is amazing. You would think that after all the derision and scorn from the league, she would be holed up in a corner. But no, she maintained her composure under duress, giving Steph Curry and Michael Jordan a pat on the back. You know you're doing something right when people are comparing you to the game's legends, really. Furthermore, it goes beyond the numbers. It has to do with the way she handles hardship. While everyone else is preoccupied stumbling over their own egos, Clark merely laughs and makes a three-pointer. Other players might buckle under pressure. Since Clark's approach is a masterclass in managing public opinion, let's speak about social media. Her articles are made with the dexterity of a surgeon, meticulously chosen to showcase her best self and avoid the negative comments from detractors. Not to mention that more than 2.5 million people watched the postseason games she participated in, the most for WNBA postseason matches since 2000. Let's talk about making a difference. Let's now discuss the WNBA's alleged Caitlyn Clark effect. If you believe that she was merely a charlatan, reconsider. More than anything else, her presence has rekindled interest in the league. Her success is now helping other teams, bringing in previously non-existent crowds. Let's face it, how exactly does one rookie cause the entire league to quake? Her admirers have stated as much. She should play for them. They also want to view it right away. Thanks in large part to Clark, attendance and merchandise sales have increased dramatically. At this point, the WNBA ought to be thanking her with notes. I believe that one of the main reasons why no one has cared about this league or felt any affection for it over the past 20-odd years is the entitlement mentality and the ill-mannered, rude attitudes that many of these players are displaying. However, we must also consider the financial effects of Clark's fame. The fact that the league is now seeing a player who can draw attention is evident from the spike in clothing sales and sponsorship opportunities. Plus money. The fact that they have been sitting on this gold mine for years is extremely hilarious. They are benefiting from her talent and hard work now that Clark has entered the picture and turned things around. They seem to have been granted another opportunity to shine because of her. Give credit where credit is due, then. To be honest, the WNBA doesn't deserve her, so they should be doing all in their can to make her happy. Clark has been thrust into a gladiatorial arena full with bullies, haters, and critics. Despite all of this, the league needs to learn a lot about treating its players well, and they risk losing their most prized asset if they can't get their act together. Caitlyn Clark is playing to improve the league as a whole, not just for them. The WNBA must wake up and recognize that they are about to lose a player who is not only altering the nature of the game, but also the public's perception of the league. So let's celebrate Caitlyn Clark, the real superstar who is overcoming incredible obstacles to successfully navigate the WNBA league. Good luck. You will require it. However, it seemed to me that Caitlyn Clark was receiving a message that said, this is how you need to be. If you want to join our league, it's a message to Nike, in my opinion. It's a good thing Clark is giving them another chance, since the WNBA would instantly become unimportant again if she chose to give up and take her talent elsewhere. She is now preparing for year two, and the excitement is genuine. As they wait to see what she will do next, fans are going crazy, and it's likely that ticket sales have already surpassed records. Here's the problem, though. The WNBA risks losing Clark if it doesn't change its behavior and quit using her as a punching bag. What happens next? Return to acting as though they had an impressive lineup while others flip through the channels. Indeed, I wish you luck on that. It's players like Clark who captivate audiences with their brand of basketball. What will they do without her? A group of ex-gamers fighting over who receives more likes on Instagram.